the thing that I have finished is actually it's pretty relevant.
Oh yeah?
I finished the musical Bear.
You take my hand, leaving me breathless.
What?
Yeah, now this one's quite interesting, I might say, because I didn't think that they would go this route.
Making it about chefs. It is weird.
No, having the chefs be like, yeah, taking this musical and then turning it into a thing about chefs, like the show about chefs.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't sure because I checked when this was made. This musical was done quite a few years before the Bear show.
Yeah.
So the Bear musical was, I guess, was popular enough that they're like, oh, we should follow on with these characters, and then I guess somewhere you know how adaptions go awry,
Yeah.
like massively awry. And you're like, is this even the same original thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. But I see it in there. You know, I see the origins of the bear in Bear.
Yeah. I mean, it explains a lot of the like repressed trauma and stuff. Because in this musical they go to like a religious school, right?
Yeah, religious school.
Yeah. So and I mean, later on when they're adults screaming at each other in the kitchen, you can kind of feel that, I reckon.
Yeah.
But that's kind of thematic. But then in terms of surface level, feels very different.
It's very strange because it feels like it would be written afterwards to some degree. Maybe they were written at the same time, but it's like, okay, here's the prequel. It feels like a prequel.
It does, but it was made first.
Like
that's always weird.
We're gonna have all these same characters that are in this one environment, and we're gonna put them in a high school setting, there's that kids DC superhero show that's all of them in a high school.
Sure.
Yeah, or like
Is that a DC fandom?
I think it was probably on the fandom poster, or like or what was that other thing that I just had in my head? Disney's Descendants, where it's like here are all of the
good example.
here are all the villains' kids, and they're all at one high school. Anyway, so this tells the story of some characters, the characters from the Bear, in a high school, in a Catholic boarding school, and picture Spring Awakening, right?
Oh yeah,
The musical Spring
I
Awakening.
remember seeing that.
We saw that literally, I think, almost a year to the day.
Oh
ago.
really?
Yeah.
That recently?
Yes. Now, if you're picturing that, it's kind of like that. Maybe a bit more gay or a bit less gay. Honestly, I don't remember a single
gay,
thing
I
about
think.
Spring Awakening.
But also maybe everyone was gay. I don't remember.
I don't know what happened in Spring Awakening. We talked about it on this podcast.
Yeah, we did. We could check the tape.
I literally don't remember
I
a
remember
single
a tiny
thing.
bit more than you, but also don't ask me a single question because I remember kind of no events or plot or characters.
But it kind of felt like that, except I understood what people were saying. Was Spring Awakening Shakespearean?
No, but it wasn't like old English, but it was like, what are you talking about English, you know?
Yeah, this was at least modern. This is called Bear the Pop. It's a pop opera. It's like,
I thought that
Bear
framing
the
was
pop
interesting.
opera. Did you feel like you're operatic in a popular way?
I felt two things, one of which is, I don't know if operatic is the word I'd use to describe this, and the second thing I felt was, oh good.
Oh, good in what?
Because I read Bear, a pop opera, and I went, oh boy, what am I in for?
You're in for pop.
And it was poppy. I thought, someone said pop rock. I think you said that, and I was like, that's a better description.
I didn't say that.
No?
Nah,
You said something along those lines about the music.
I don't think I said anything about the music.
Okay.
Anyways, this was interesting. I think I like this more than Spring Awakening. I think that it just the story was a bit more depthful. It was a bit more modern. Yeah. So we have the main character.
It helps if they're in a religious school in the 2000s rather than a religious school in the 1600s.
Yes.
A bit more relatable.
Yes. So we have the main character. I couldn't remember the name, but luckily you've just rehashed me on all the names of the characters in The Bear. So we have the main character, Kami, and Kami is gay. Doesn't want to. Who is the main character in this, actually?
Yeah, look. Initially, I thought it was the
Kami.
one who sings first. Yeah, Kami. But
let's
I'm
just-
realizing that, like, maybe it's... I was going to say Richie, but I'm wondering if we're headed for incest here in our long and convoluted metaphor. Why don't you continue to set this up so that I'm not responsible for whatever the fuck you're cooking over there?
Great. So we have Kami as the main character. Then we have Richie, that's the love interest. And then we have Sydney, who's Richie's brother, sister,
Yep.
and then
There was a better way to do this, but it's too late now. And then we have Tina, who is Sydney's housemate.
well, not dorm mate.
Yeah.
They live in a dormitory. Anyways,
Roommate.
It's all about disgruntled isn't the right word.
Disaffected.
Horny Catholic teens and dealing with not being able to tell family that they're gay. So we have a couple of the main two that are in a bit of a love interest thing. Here's the thing, the main two, what I did like about this is that they were gay and they start off gay together.
Yeah.
This isn't a Heartstopper. This isn't a Love Simon. I don't know. You know all those ones where it's like someone discovers a guy. It's always a guy. A guy discovers they're gay and then they like feel bad about it and then they eventually get there with the person at the end and they just do a kiss and that's it.
Sex education. Not the main character.
Sure. In this, they start off having like this secret relationship and they're not like very hidey about it. I don't know if it was just.
I was going to say, I spent at least 15 minutes of this going like, everyone's saying that this is a secret, but everyone knows. But then as it went on, it became apparent like, no, not everyone knows. Just like they're very intimate together in the group environment.
They're very intimate together when, like, because this is set in a school, we have a couple of sets. We have the hallways. We probably have a classroom at some point. We have the dorms. We have, like, a rave or whatever. When they're in the halls, they're very intimate when no one else is around.
Yeah.
But when other people are around, then they are still close because they are best friends. I heard one person refer to them as best friends.
Yeah, which makes sense, but I guess because as the audience we see everything, it took me a while to cotton onto the fact that no, they are in fact keeping this a secret from the other characters.
Yes. But this was genuinely refreshing in the way of they were nice and intimate and, even in a secret relationship, in a relationship from the start. Also, I thought they were going to do that classic jock's embarrassed to be with nerd and wants to keep it a secret for that reason thing.
Yeah.
You know, the High School Musical, whatever.
Yeah.
Because bloody hell, this is hard to
Richie?
do. Richie is a jock.
He's a sporty guy. He's popular.
And everyone
all
wants to
the
get
women
with
love
him.
him.
Yeah, all the women love him. And Kami's like a little bit of a dweeb.
A little bit.
More just a bit more anxious, I guess.
Yeah.
More introverted. I can't remember what happened in the first half of this musical.
You didn't like the first half of this musical. I'll say it.
Yeah, you will say it. I didn't. It was veering on the side of, I want to say Spring Awakening, but I don't want to keep comparing it to that, where I don't know, some of the music's good, but it was a bit samey enough that I couldn't get really invested in any fun, powerful songs. I think it's interesting when a musical picks a particular genre to go with instead of making it dynamic. Often musicals, have a style for particular characters or particular classes of characters, heroes, villains, whatever you might have. But this was like, no, it's
or like
it's
this
all
one's
pop.
an ensemble piece, then we'll do a big solo ballad.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I was feeling a bit samey.
I liked a lot of these staging decisions.
Okay.
You're talking music. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I love the rave, and they had
tell me about
this
the stage.
small location in Prague. It was the MC showroom.
Yes.
So they didn't have much room to work with. They had two big set pieces, and then some chairs, and they were like lockers, like school lockers that moved around to form different like hallways and the church and a wall outside. Yeah, just efficient, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had a bed
And then they had a bed.
that couldn't fit on the stage, like was not on the stage for the scenes where it wasn't needed.
Well, yeah.
And it couldn't really just be slid off to the side or whatever. So I found it very funny because there's one bit in this where it's like the love interest,
Richie and Tina.
Richie and Tina are gonna maybe, thank you,
I hate this.
are gonna hook up. Maybe, and you're like, you don't know, and
they
because
weren't,
Richie's with Kami, kind of, but they've just like sort of broke it off, but it's like the same night, whatever. No, they hadn't broken it off or whatever. They were still together.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, he shouldn't do this. Will they sleep together? I don't know. They're at a party. Will they sleep? And then multiple like crew members bring on a big bed. I'm like, well, that just spoiled it for me because like, yeah, now I know there's going to be a sex scene because you're bringing a bed on specifically for this bit where they're like, will we? Yeah. So the staging was great except for that bit where it spoiled it for me. Yeah. Like you said, I wasn't 100% feeling it in the first half. But in the second half, that's when like shit goes down.
Correct.
And
I'll hold on to it, but I want to tell you my favorite line at some point. Don't let me forget.
Okay, all right, sure thing. All right. Listeners, don't let Reuben forget. I'm famously terrible at remembering things. Yeah, and it was really sort of the back third that the stakes went up and I really started feeling invested in the characters. I think to some degree, because you know, this is a community theatre show, I think, that some of the performers took a bit to get into their groove. Even some of the leads, I really enjoyed them in the back half, but in the front half it felt like it took them a bit to get into it, which, you know, once again, I was in it by the end, but it would be great to be in it from the start. I feel like they had strengths. They just needed to show them a bit more in the first half, like straight out the gate. Yeah, I don't know. It made me – it's also an interesting venue.
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk about the venue for a bit?
Sure.
Now, this is interesting because also I do theatre production and like how do I want to talk about places that I might perform in at some point?
Rubbish them, trash them, say mean things with no qualifiers.
I don't think that the venue is inherently bad. I don't know what it was with this, if it's the setup of the venue itself or with the production, like the company or what it might be. But I think that there were only like 2 speakers, which was all the sound was coming out of, and they were from the front. So it felt like, I don't know this for sure, but it felt like the cast did not have fold back in terms of like speakers facing the stage so that they can hear what they sound like. And there weren't speakers behind the audience or like closer to the audience. We were sat quite far at the back. So I feel like with those improvements, it would have felt a bit more enveloping because there were times where I was like, I can't hear what they're singing or I can't hear the music well enough. Like, I'd like, if I go to see a production, to be enveloped in that world. And a lot of that is sound. Sound really brings you into something, I find. And making sure that the audio experience is supporting what's happening on the stage, I think helps. And I think that things like, fold back, that would help. That helps the cast get into their groove, know their pitch, know how loud they should be singing right off the gate instead of having to find that as they go. And I'm saying this as a performer who's done that and, been on stage and been like, well, I don't, who has had to find that balance as they go. And it doesn't feel great. So I understand it. But yeah, I just feel like it could have used that sort of support.
Do you think that if there was those technical improvements, you would have connected more quickly, or that with characters, or that actors would have found their way in more quickly?
I think both. I think both, because that was one of the things that did stand out from the start. It was like, oh, I can't really hear. So if that was fixed, then I would be able to be thinking more about the production, more about the show and less about the...
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, production, I guess. I don't know what the right word to use is there. But yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about... I guess we don't necessarily need to spoil it. Like, all right, so you found that the first half was a little tricky to get into. You were sold on the second half. Was your favourite song in the second half? Did you find that variation in genre and rhythm and tone, there was some more? Because I thought that some of the standout songs were in the second half, I think.
Okay. I say there was some variation. And then there was also a bit that made everyone in the crowd, like, laugh out loud, which was was it the Mary? No? The woman who came on stage with angels.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Virgin Mary.
Yeah. And by that, I mean...
Diana Ross.
By that, I mean...
Oh, you mean...
Who does Jamie Lee Curtis play in The Bear? Help me out here. I need to keep
Donna?
this bit up.
I think it's Donna.
Donna. When Donna came on stage with her 7 fish. That was great, and that was some variation. You know, it was very soulful, sort of gospel-y.
Yes.
But
That was
funny, like
wild.
upbeat, kind of Aretha-y. I don't know. That was a lot of fun.
Aretha-y.
Aretha-y.
No, that's an adjective.
Hey. So that was a lot of fun, and that was some upbeat moments in
Yeah.
It was kind of a very somber musical despite being pop. One of my favorite songs was when Richie and Sydney
Yep.
had their song. I think
Yeah.
it's in the first half where they're talking about being brother and sister or whatever.
Our dad's fucked up. Our mum's fucked up. Let's quickly sing a verse like we're them and not us.
Yeah.
That was a good song.
That was really fun, and the dynamic and the play between
Yes.
those two.
I think it
was very
helps that those two are best friends in real life.
Yes, they are. Yeah. And also, like,
Have performed together lots.
full disclosure, I do know
Know
those
both of
two
those people.
and those are the two people that I was there to see.
Yeah.
Regardless, and not completely regardless, but regardless, like
Yeah.
that was, I think that level of play
was a good one.
was really good.
Are we going to talk spoilers?
Is your favorite line in spoilers? Is that why?
Well, my favorite line is very much in spoilers, but I was actually just thinking about songs that are a bit spoilery.
Okay, yeah. Let's do a little bit of bare spoiler talk.
Yep.
Sure thing.
All right.
Let's do it. Jump ahead. We have time codes in the description
Yeah.
if you don't want to hear.
Jump to the up and up section.
Jump to the up and up section.
I quite liked the song that was I'm Pregnant.
That one was good. That one, I mean, good songwriting, good tension building.
Yeah.
You find out beforehand, and then you're like, just get it out, say it. Mm-hmm. You have this. I don't want to listen to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was.
I
good.
liked all the friendships in this, even when they were flawed, and even when people made mistakes. I liked when there was a non-romantic moment of connection between people. That happens finally, eventually, between those two roommates.
Yep.
At one point, Kami confesses his secret to a friend that is gay and in a relationship. And
What's the friend's name?
the friend's name is Fack.
Yes. Sick.
Yes. Which, there's maybe not everything goes well with that, but that moment is really nice when they're drinking the wine from the altar or whatever at a huge party. Just little things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The characters, they felt like real characters.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but there were some really good relationships in this that yeah.
How did you feel about the end?
How did I feel about the end when Richie dies?
Yeah.
Shocked and appalled, and really threw me through the ringer. I was, and it's a very tragic death in the way of this isn't deserved. There are mistakes that happen. We're in spoilers, so drugs are not a thing that's really focused on. I mean, there's a song literally all about drugs, but
Come get your drugs. I've got drugs. I'm going to rap to you about drugs.
But it's not presented as any sort of issue, and it's not really a commentary on drug use from what I could see or hear.
Yeah.
But Richie taking drugs to get through that sort of last day of school, get through that performance of Romeo and Juliet, I was like, oh yeah, they're fine. Oh, they're doing a bit worse. Oh, they're doing a bit worse. Oh shit, they're like fucking convulsing and dying. That was, I don't know. It was like very tragic, and you see them slowly start to fail throughout that whole scene. And so when it happens, you're like, you'll just hold through. You'll hold through. Everyone else who's had any sort of situation like that in this so far. And it's also because there are so many loose threads connected to that character.
Yeah.
That you're like, I need to see how they wrap this up and solve it. And because it isn't wrapped up and solved in a neat bow.
Life doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
I agree that death was shocking in the sense that I kind of didn't clock that it happened. I think I maybe didn't quite see it. I saw him very unwell on the floor, and then the next scene was like, he's dead, Richie is dead. And I was like, oh. So I maybe didn't have time to get really sad about it because I was like, for a bit, and then it was at the end.
Yeah.
I did think it was very sad when his sister was like, I figured he'd come and talk to me. I thought he'd do it when he was ready. Oh, no. Yeah, that was grim.
That was grim.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a show about how lack of support for people in crisis means they'll go through the crisis more.
I spent the whole musical thinking, like, it's nice to have a queer love story that's not defined by either the fact that it's short or the fact that, like, by death. I was like, it's just nice to have, even if it's not perfect, like a positive experience of, oh.
Oh, whoops.
So I was a bit like, oh. But also, I don't like musicals where they're like, and it's magically fixed with the power of theater. Because I'm like, no, it's not. Like, if we're going to talk about it, let's face it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because it does fall into that trope of tragic gay love story.
Yeah. But also this was written 20 years ago.
No, I think this was written pretty recently.
But before The Bear.
But before The Bear.
Yeah.
Do you want me to find out? Oh my God, if it's written after The Bear. We've got a lot of rewriting to do with this.
Okay, so they're putting on a show of Romeo and Juliet in this. And there's quite a lot of singing of Romeo and Juliet lines. And can I just say that Shakespearean English is much better sung than spoken? Because either way, you're not going to understand what it says. So why not have them indicate the emotions and the flavor to you with voice stuff and their bodies rather than like just saying it or reading it? I don't know. I just think that all Shakespeare should be sung forever now. That's my hot take.
I could understand it so much better. Also had a little bit of charm to it when Carmi comes in and takes the role of Juliet. It's very charming. In that.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, okay, maybe Romeo and Juliet is pretty good, actually. Okay, a Bear pop opera was released October 14th, 2000.
Oh, there you go.
So over
It's older than
20
me.
years ago. It was performed off-Broadway 2004. Revisions
It's older than
2012.
Jack and Dexter, the precursor legacy.
Yeah.
But it's better.
Why do you think they changed it?
Changed what?
Bear.
Oh, to be the cooking thing?
Yeah, in Chicago with the
I don't know. I feel like maybe money.
money.
Yeah.
In what way? What do you mean?
Like
Capitalism gets us all.
TV's gonna get more viewers than a musical. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Also, if we're putting this on HBO or whatever, maybe we should make it less gay.
Yeah.
HBO is pretty liberal with that kind of thing, but I guess they were.
Yeah, but
they knew how big the show was going to be. Yeah.
Can I tell you about my favorite line?
Yeah, tell me about your favorite line.
So, to set the scene, there's 4 characters on stage. It's fucking, oh my God, what have you done to me? It's Tina.
Yep.
And Richie.
Yep.
And Sydney.
Yep.
And Fack.
Yes. Nice job.
Thank you. And one of them's on the floor. At least one of them's crying, probably 2. Everyone's been yelling. Tension is very high. Things are bad, right? Like something is clearly going on and going down.
Yep.
But no one's going down on. That happened already. And so Carmi walks into this scene and he's like, what happened? And Fack replies, she's pregnant and your boyfriend's the father. And I just love how, in terms of like drama to word ratio, how loaded that is. Because no one knows that very few people know that Carmi is gay. Very few people know they're together. Very few people know that Tina is pregnant. And very few people know that Tina and Richie are together. So in terms of like, just like the ratio.
I think there's more drama than words almost. Like it's,
correct. It's like maximum impact, minimum time.
Yeah.
She's pregnant and your boyfriend is the father. I just loved that.
That was, really, and it was really just like pulling the trigger on all of the tension.
Yeah.
If there was, if all of the bits of secrets were Chekhov's guns.
I was about to say.
Right?
It's like a Chekhov's shotgun where it's all just packed in there.
Yeah, Fack had like all of the guns lined up side by side, put both of his fingers in to fit the width, and then yanked his fingers towards him and shot them all off at the same time. Some of them hit harder than others do.
Some of them hit him.
Yeah.
But he was already hurting.
What happened to him? Oh, became the mechanic for the
Yeah.
Bear, a pop opera musical.
Bear.
Is it good? Yeah, probably.
I thought so. I had more fun than I thought I would. Based on the fact that I didn't know the musical and didn't know and only knew one person. Actually, no, I knew that I was going to know people in it. What am I trying to say? I think I forgot to set expectations, so they were exceeded.
I think
I rocked up and I was like, oh yeah, musical. Okay. Oh, great. Okay. Like that.
I had a very interesting experience where I had the musical somewhat hyped up for me to some degree. And then I had the musical somewhat
Talk down?
Talk Down.
Yeah, I was there
Justin-
for just that bit.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I don't know. Okay, we'll see how this goes. And so I think it was one of those things as well that I was overanalyzing the whole experience.
I just kind of floated on top of it.
Here's the real question, though.
What's the real question?
Where's it ranking
Oh boy. Oh shit.
in
I
our
forgot.
ranking of musicals?
How could I forget?
All right, I've got the tier list in front of me.
All right.
Where do you reckon it ranks?
I think we're going to be one tier different on this without knowing what either of us think yet. All right. So what?
Should we just say it on the count of 3 then?
Wait, hang on, but let me think. Wait, can I have a look at the thing?
No, I'll read it out to you.
Great.
But what do you
for
want to know?
listeners, of course.
What do you want to know, though?
Well, no, see, that'll tell you what I'm thinking. Just read me like the first 2 of every tier.
Okay. In S, we have Book of Mormon and Hamilton. A, The Sound of Music and The Lion King. B, Mary Poppins and Billy Elliot. C, Grease and The Color Purple. D, Urinetown and Fun Home. E, Spring Awakening and 1776. F, Into the Woods and Cats. And then our last one is Haven't Heard of It.
Right,
and in that, no, I'm going to tell you.
Oh,
You said
boy.
Girls and Dolls and Title of Show.
Okay. So we're going to go, because let's not do the rock, paper, scissors miscommunication thing. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, and then the letter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, D. Oh, we're 2 off.
Shit.
Does that mean we put it
Well,
in C?
unfortunately, that means it's a really easy pick, but why do you think? What, D?
It's a bit better than Spring Awakening.
It's worse than Grease? You famously don't like Grease.
Oh, is Grease in C? Sorry, I wasn't listening when I was reading out anything. Yeah, I would say there are... no, I think Grease
Definitely
got...
better than Spring Awakening.
Here's the thing. This is an aggregate list of both of our
Yeah, I was
opinions.
thinking that. I was like, wait, if I say that it's worse than Grease, you'll be like, no, it's not, but also Grease is higher than you think it should be. So,
Yes.
why is Grease in C?
I don't know.
Who put that there? Baffling decision.
Listen back to the tape.
It'll be me.
It'll be
Don't
you.
listen back.
Yeah, we'll put it in C.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
What's
great.
it in there with? Read out all of C tier, please.
All right, in C tier we have Grease, The Color Purple, Shrek the Musical, School of Rock, Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, Priscilla, Aladdin, Mean Girls, Beetlejuice, Chicago, Groundhog Day, and Les Mis.
Yeah, it's not worse than School of Rock.
You didn't like School of Rock, did you?
I think this is better.
Okay, well, too bad.
Because
It's in
what
C.
if School of Rock was
School of Pop?
people but gay?
Oh, I was doing a fun little pun.
Yeah, no, you're doing
thing.
your thing was
School
good.
of Pop was better than something gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Reuben, your 10-year-old
grade
is
6 self is
yeah, there
back
you go. Is sleeping in.